As a parent and an artist, I'm constantly inspired by my 4-year-old's unfiltered approach to creativity. Watching her make art has given me a fresh perspective on my own practice and reminded me of the beauty and curiosity, exploration, and play. So, what can a 4-year-old teach you and me about art? Hi, I'm Carrie, here on Artist Strong. I help self-taught artists draw or paint anything they want. To date, thousands have joined the community. If you feel like gaps in your learning hold you back from making your best art, sign up and watch my workshop, How to Create Art from Your Imagination. It's completely free and the link is in the description below. Today, here are some of the lessons she's unknowingly taught me about making art. Lesson 1, use the paper without fear. My daughter uses up a piece of paper without a second thought. Some sheets are full of colorful marks, while others feature a single swirl surrounded by white space. When she's done, she simply moves on to a new blank page. In contrast, I once kept a handmade sketchbook from my artist friend Holly Dean for almost 5 years, waiting for the right project to justify its use. My daughter's approach reminds me that art doesn't have to meet some imaginary special standard to be valid. It's good and natural to make art, no matter how it turns out. Lesson 2, show up with intention, not a plan. When my daughter sits down to create, she doesn't start with a rigid plan. Instead, she chooses her medium, colored pencils, clay, or paint, and lets it guide her. Once it's in hand, she begins to explore. I, on the other hand, often approach my work with a very specific outcome in mind. While this can be efficient, it may also limit my creativity. My best work has often come from letting the materials lead the way. How might I cultivate more of this open-ended exploration into my practice? Do you have a small child in your life that's taught you something about your art? Share your lesson or ahas from today's conversation in the comments below. Lesson 3, embrace multiple media. Yesterday, my daughter and I made a collage, drew with colored pencils, sculpted with clay, and crafted cat ears out of pipe cleaners and construction paper. She doesn't limit herself to one medium or worry about mastering any of them. She just dives in. Perfectionism sometimes holds me back. I am certain my perfectionism often sets me up to have a certain expectation and standard for my medium. How many ideas are left unexplored because I need to be better at clay or printmaking or you name it? My daughter's fearless experimentation reminds me that it's okay to be a beginner. Time to jump in a whole lot sooner. Lesson 4, create in community. My daughter loves making art with me or others. While she prefers that we use the same medium, she's learning to accept our differences and simply enjoy the act of creating together. Being in community is essential. I don't often get to make art with other artists, but I've built connections through a monthly meetup, a weekly accountability partner, and a few trusted friends who give feedback on my work. These relationships have been invaluable as I've adjusted to parenthood, moved to Texas, and navigated the challenges of pandemic life. This year, I'm committed to cultivating more in-person artistic connections. For those of you seeking online community and connection, Self-Taught to Self-Confident is a learning space where people can show up in the thick of vulnerable learning and not only receive feedback that helps improve their work, but feel seen and lifted up by peers going through the same thing. Someone in the group recently shared it's one of the few spaces she has felt safe online to share her art. Everyone is in there in the spirit of learning and growth. So if you know gaps in your learning hold you back from making your best art, sign up and watch my workshop, How to Create Art from Your Imagination, for free. It gives you a taste of my teaching and shares more about Self-Taught to Self-Confident, where you learn how to draw or paint anything you want. Click here or in the links below. Lesson 5, learn through play. For my daughter, art is play. She experiments with brushes, mixes unexpected colors, and asks, what happens if I do this? She doesn't worry about controlling every aspect of the process. As adults, we often strive for control, even in our creative work. But this mindset can distance us from our authentic style and voice. My daughter's playful curiosity reminds me to loosen up. I've started setting playful challenges for myself, like creating a portrait in 15 minutes or working only on 9 by 9 inch paper. These small structures give me freedom to rediscover the joy of exploration. I'd love for you to go through these 5 lessons and share in the comments which lesson is one you most needed to hear today, and what is one step you could take this week to apply that lesson to your own creative practice. Pablo Picasso is famously quoted as saying, "Every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up." I taught elementary school art for 1 year. Bless you, elementary school teachers. And in the mayhem of 25 kids learning to cut with scissors or covering themselves with glue, I could see their enthusiasm, their confidence, and their curiosity. No one thought, "I can't do this." The thing that scares me is seeing how quickly and easily little ones lose that spark. I could see kids as early as 2nd or 3rd grade starting to say they were no good at art. No wonder so many adults move through the world with that spark, struggling to stay alive, or worse, entirely snuffed out. What would happen to your art if your first thought was, "Yes, I can"? My 4-year-old has shown me that my art doesn't need to be perfect, planned, or constrained by a single medium. It's about showing up, experimenting, and embracing the process. Whether it's filling a blank page without hesitation or collaborating with others, her approach has reignited my own creativity. May it also be a reminder of the simmering power and potential within you. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. Remember, proudly call yourself an artist. Together, we are Artist Strong.